that gets us to our guy, Ron Harrod Jr., who had a chance to sit down with the former Xavier product, who's having a career year for the Dallas Mavericks. In fact, came off a 31-point effort last night to try to help the Mavericks storm back from a 31-point deficit, nearly doing it against the Phoenix Suns. But Ron, this is a young man who has gone from fighting for two-way to now becoming a real key member of this Dallas Mavericks team.
Yeah, I mean, not only did, Naji Marshall fight for like a two-way contract, the man like almost just did not play basketball in high school because of his academics. He had to essentially transfer from his freshman year to his sophomore year to a different school because he struggled at this, private institution that he was at. He had to kind of transfer to his local public school, and that's where he, got a chance to find his coach, Brendan O'Connell, who kind of, helped, Naji kind of, I guess, just quote-unquote get his life in order. Really, he said Naji did a lot of the work himself. And his mom did a lot to get himself in, good academic standing. He ended up having to do a fifth year of high school just to make sure his academics were right to go D1. That's where he went to Xavier. Was on, a loaded Xavier team. Eventually, by year 3, became one of the best players. And then we see kind of how his journey has developed in the NBA from two-way to standard contract to the Mavs kind of really find the steal of like one of the free agent classes in Naji Marshall to now essentially with Cooper Flagg and Naji Marshall off the court, over 200 minutes, they're minus 15, which basically means that if one of them is off, like they have to at least have one of them on the court almost at all times, or the team just completely like falls over. Like one of them has to be on the court almost all the time, or the offense is just putrid. They have a 103 offensive rating with neither Naji Marshall and Cooper Flagg on the court. It's one of the worst offenses in the NBA. If one of your top shot creators is on the court. Now, eventually when Kyrie Irving comes back, things might change a little bit with some of those lineups. But Naji Marshall's literally worked himself up to like maybe not even be able to like play college basketball. So now being one of the most valuable offensive players on not a great team, but still an NBA team at the end of the day.
Oh, she had more. I was waiting on more from you. But no, he's, as you can see, averaging over 17 points per game as a starter, shooting over 54% from the field, giving you 3.5 assists per contest, and really become one of the heart and soul members of this team. A player who's become a fan favorite, obviously, for the Dallas Mavericks, but most importantly, has carved out a real future on this team. Obviously, we're moving toward the NBA trade deadline. Were there ideas that he could have been moved? Obviously, the Mavericks set a high threshold for him to be moved if he was going to get traded. Obviously, teams did not meet that. And as our guy Marstein has talked about, the Mavericks don't want to trade or move on from a Naji Marshall. But this is a player who's on a terrific contract. He's in the second year of a 3-year, $27 million deal. He's going to be making $9 million next year. Obviously, someone who could be really waiting for a contract extension because he has played himself into the kind of player that not only is a fit around Cooper Flagg, where Matt Riccardi said recently it's a perfect fit for Naji Marshall and Max Christie to be around Cooper Flagg, but also someone that Cooper's learned from, obviously, to become a real part of this team here.
And he checks all the boxes. There's so many things about him that make him fun to root for. Number 1, cool name. Number 2, great nickname. All right. Number 3, has some interesting and unique traits about him that make watching him memorable. He's got a really good floater. That's just kind of a thing that he's got. He kind of dribbles it interestingly, and he mostly lays it up. He doesn't dunk very often.
He stands up straight.
Yeah, he's got an interesting gait.
I think they call him a drunken monkey on the Morris Twins.
Yeah, well, I would never call him that. Well, I just want to get out there and say that. I'm going to continue calling him the Knife. All right. Now, I think he's a really good poster. Okay, his tweets are really funny.
He's funny.
He is pretty fire on the court and will get in fights, which I think is awesome too. He's a great quote, and in that article that we can read right now on alldls.com, there's a lot of good quotes in there, dude. I mean, he'll throw an MFer around, and like he's awesome.
Yeah, I think like for Mavs fans, like he has like 3 really good quotes. We'll just read them since we're here. So Naji had told me that he wasn't worried about the trade noise. He's like, I'm an NBA player. I'm going to figure it out. So I asked him like, hey, like what about like Dallas? Like, what do you just feel about just staying in the city of Dallas? He said, I love the city. I love the team, the coaches, and the front office. They accepted me with open arms, and they're so blessed to be in the city. Then he followed up kind of talking about his relationship with Cooper Flagg, who he called his dog. But he says, I want to play with Cooper Flagg my whole blank career. That's my dog, and he's going to create history, and to be a part of that would be unbelievable. So he wants to stay with Cooper Flagg. He loves Max Christie. Called Max Christie his Uda. I said, what does that mean, Naji? I mean, I thought I would get all of his slang because we're from the same place. Uda is short for shooter, and that's short for shooter. So it's like, oh, okay. I get it. Max Christie's your shooter. He said yes. Or his Uda.
Is it really short? Like, okay, as the king of shortening words,
like Uda. He said take the sh off shooter. That's what he did.
Like, is it easy? Is it easier to say?
I literally think he just made that up.
Okay. Well, that's another reason I love
think
him.
like literally Naji makes things up.
Dude, if he's an abbrev guy, that is another reason to like him.
Did you just really do that?
Yes. He claimed that as his thing.
Yes.
Did you say abbrev?
Yeah.
He shortened abbreviation.
I abbreviated abbreviation to abbrev. I think that
Kevin's disgusted.
Dude, Naji is awesome, man. And like,
he has a great quote. He's a fun guy.
And he's also the kind of guy that like he's gonna score 26 on you, and the fans of the other team are gonna be like, dude, what is
Who
happening?
is this guy?
Yeah. JJ Barea was that guy for the Mavs for a long time.
How does he keep making that damn floater
And
every
he'd come
time?
in and get like 10 points and 4 assists in a quarter, and the opposing fan base just melting down. Like, what is happening? You know?
Why can't anyone guard him? But he plays like so unorthodox. Like, I don't really
that's a great word.
know another player that like he's again who runs the court standing up. He's like a 6. What is he?
6'6",
like 6'6".
Yeah.
And like he shoots like a lot of floaters. Like usually those type of players like above the rim players, but he's not really that type of guy. He told me that he basically got that floater because he used to watch a lot of Tony Parker. He said, how can I implement that in my game? And that's kind of where the floater kind of happened when he was like early, middle school, high school. And I think just to end the quote, the kind of one of his best things, I think this quote we ended the story with, I think just describes Naji Marshall as a complete person. He says, I don't view myself as a celebrity. I just view myself as a person who's just chasing their dreams, and I just want to motivate people. I'm not bigger than the program. I'm not bigger than nobody.
Oh my God.
And that right there
Naji
is
Marshall,
the knife.
I love you.
Like that
God.
That quote just feels like everything we know about Naji Marshall, that one quote represents. And I thought it was very important to include that just because it was just so authentic to kind of who his character. Like a lot of people like, say that like PR wise. Like, oh, I'm not bigger than the team. Like he's that guy. They say, hey, play point guard. All right. Play power forward. All right. Play small forward. All right. Like lead the offense. All right. Like guard the team's best player. All right. Like anything Jason Kidd has ever asked him to do on this team, he's done. He came off the bench his first year. It doesn't matter what he's kind of asked to do. He's just done it. And I think every player in the locker room loves Naji Marshall. He pushes everyone to be a better player. And that's kind of like what you want out of kind of your role players. Like, okay, do other players like you? And do you make everyone else, like, at least make them feel like they're bigger than what they are? I think he does that.
Yeah, Naji is the kind of player that you want on your team, someone who understands a role and is willing to do anything and everything to help his team win. And in that vein, you can use 12 guys like a Naji Marshall on your squad to be able to understand what they need to do to help the team, doesn't have an ego, and just wants to help the team be better night in and night out. And he's become obviously a fan favorite here in Dallas with his abilities on the floor, his personality off the floor, is willing to engage with others on social media at times as well. Naji Marshall is the kind of guy that every organization would love to have, and we're fortunate to have Naji Marshall here.
And lastly, too, I saw someone in the comments say Sadiq Bey would fit good with Coop. Sadiq Bey and Naji Marshall play for also the same AAU team. They're from the same area in the DMV, so they also probably, if I had to guess, are close. I would assume, or even if they're not close, they've known each other since they were children, literally. So, I mean, just saying, if Naji Marshall maybe fits well with Coop, maybe so does Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, Naji, as I understand it, would be based off of his contract where he's going into next year as an expiring deal, would be eligible for an extension this summer. So, interesting to see what the Mavericks will do with that.